Andy Steves Europe, and it is a pleasure to have him. He is a travel expert, and you will learn all about Amsterdam, Barcelona, Berlin, Budapest, Dublin, Edinburgh, Florence, London, Madrid, Paris, Prague, Rome, Venice. Andy Steves, thank you so much for coming on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hello. Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys. How are you?
Are you in the United States, or are you somewhere far away?
Yes, I'm finally home in Seattle. I've been on the road for 5 months, but I came back to do this book tour and promote this exciting publication. So it's good to be back stateside.
Now, you come by your travel bug honestly because you are the son of Rick Steves, who has had a very, very long-running television program where he travels Europe, and I've been a fan of your dad's for a very long time as well. What intrigues me about your book is that you talk about being able to do this on a budget, and I think that I've always believed as time goes on, it just seems that more and more things in society are elusive, where we can't go to the great restaurants anymore. It seems like the one percenters have control of this. You actually have strategies for traveling and experiencing the world and doing it on a budget. And was that born out of your own personal experience? Did you travel with your dad, or did you go out on your own first to figure this out? How did the whole budget travel thing come into being for you? Were you a starving student?
Sure, Mike. It's a combination of necessity for sure, but also upbringing. Like you mentioned, I grew up traveling with my dad, Rick Steves, every year of my life. So each year he spends about 3 months over in Europe updating his guidebooks or making TV shows. So my mom, my sister, and I, we'd go in the middle of that trip somewhere, wherever he was, to break up those long separations. So one year we might go to the west coast of Ireland, another time maybe the streets of Rome, the Black Forest in Germany. So that was my background. And then I had the chance to study abroad in Rome, a decade ago, 10 years ago, and it just changed my life. For the first time, I was able to plug into the local culture. And that's what opened my eyes to just how effective it is to try to get off the tourist beaten path and find out where the locals shop, where the locals eat. And guess what? You have a more authentic experience, and it's usually cheaper too. So I definitely was a sponge and soaked up as much as I could from my dad. But working with students and budget travelers for the last 8 years, running my tour company, I've really honed my message and my connections in all these different cities.
What I love about your book, Andy, and Andy Steves' book is Andy Steves Europe, City Hopping on a Budget. What I really love about this book is you really take the guesswork out of it. You can look through this, all these different cities, and you lay out a plan for really experiencing these cities. I've always thought that, and I'm not an extensive traveler. I've been to Europe, but I haven't traveled extensively. My sister and my brother-in-law have. And one of the things from watching a lot of travel information on television is I'm with you on this whole idea of getting off the beaten path. The only place I ever did it was Ireland, where I had a reservation the very first night I was in Ireland, and then I put my whole family in a car, and we just traveled from town to town, and we did bed and breakfast, and I found that was just a much better way to get in touch with the culture. You have to have a little leap of faith, don't you, Andy? You have to really just sort of throw caution to the wind to a certain extent and just let it happen. That, to me, is the best experience when you're traveling.
Especially when you got to remember to drive on the left side of the road, right?
Yes. Those narrow Irish roads are a little scary, and I did it with some workmates one time, and they abused that privilege. But that's another story. I will tell you that to me, the idea of getting off an airplane, and maybe you have a reservation at a hotel, maybe you don't, but then going to a local watering hole or a local restaurant and just kind of plugging into the locals, that had to be that seems to me that would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, and it's not all that easy these days either, because these cities are so popular. The ones that you mentioned, there's millions of tourists traveling throughout Europe every year. So I've just found it to be very worthwhile, and to do your best to get away from those tourist zones. But you got to find that balance, because everybody who goes to Paris for the first time, they're going to want to see the Eiffel Tower and the Mona Lisa, of course.
Of course.
In Rome, it's the Colosseum and the Sistine Chapel and the Vatican Museums, St. Peter's Basilica. Everybody has to see those sites on a first-time visit. So my book is really all about finding that balance of checking those main sites off the list, but then saying, hey, you should check out this neighborhood that I love, like Monti, for example, in Rome. It's just tucked right up the hill from Colosseum, and it's the trendiest place. There are cocktail lounges, there's kind of pop-up pizza shops, and there's even vegan gelato, if you can imagine. So it's all or organic gelato. So Europe's changing so fast, and there's so many interesting things going on. It's a great time to get over there.
I went to Paris around the turn of the century, in the year 2000, and I did do all the touristy stuff. And you mentioned you got to see the Eiffel Tower. Is there a way you can do the touristy stuff, say the Eiffel Tower, and not appear like a rube? Are there any tricks of the trade to do it and do it in a more efficient way?
It's challenging, and what's happened recently is there's a whole second economy that's grown up around companies that wait until midnight, exactly 2 weeks or 2 months ahead of when of the booking date. So they buy up all the entry times, they buy up all the tickets, and then turn around and sell them for 3 times as much. So you got to be sure and book your reservation on the official website for the Eiffel Tower, or the Louvre, or you name it. And if there's a site that is important for you to see, these days you just got to make reservations if you don't want to stand in line for 3 hours. Also in Paris, there's additional security. So my groups have been going there, every couple of weeks for the last 8 years. Recently, the line to get through security around the perimeter of the Eiffel Tower is longer than the line to get up it. So there's just there's more crowds and more security these days. So that's just part of life in travel, unfortunately.
I have to ask you this question. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Oscar.
No
I didn't
worries.
interrupt you.
I just want to talk Turkey. Which European city has the hottest women?
Yeah.
You should, the eye is in the beauty, beauty is
Prague.
in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah,
right?
Prague.
Prague. I've been living in Prague for the last 6 years. I can't say anything bad about Prague.
There you go.
Also a winner.
Well, I mean, I'd figure Prague. We used to have a friend that was in a different industry. That's a very long story, also. That did a lot of filming in Prague. That's terrible.
He was a videographer. No,
he was a Stop it. Enough of that. But let me say, Andy, because you travel extensively, this is kind of the question I would ask even an exterminator coming to my house. What is the most harrowing or dangerous experience you've had? Obviously, you came up traveling with your dad when you were a kid, but then when you ventured out on your own, have you had any harrowing, scary moments traveling? And any warnings you would issue to anybody?
Europe is much safer statistically than the States. You're going to be safer traveling around Europe than just hanging out, walking around the streets of Chicago or, Detroit.
Right.
So when you go to Europe, you can safely assume that your biggest headaches are going to be just making sure you catch your train and making sure you're on time getting to the airport. And if you do experience anything, more likely than not, it's going to be pickpocketing. And so you just got to watch your belongings, especially in those crowded metros like in Barcelona or Paris. Pickpocketers are out, and they are very good at what they do. They work in teams. They cause distractions on the other side of the bus. And so once everybody's looking over there, that's when the other guys on the other side of the bus go to work. So you just got to be aware and watching out for what's happening around you.
Do you have any scary airline stories where you maybe got into a problem there with flights? Any scary flying stories?
No. Just I've had some turbulence for sure, but
all that travel and you've only had turbulence. That's incredible. I fly once every year and I get an aborted takeoff and an aborted landing. You're a blessed man, Andy Steves.
There you go.
Andy,
that's why I like to lead groups around Europe. So somehow it works out.
It's an interesting time politically in America, and I'm curious, of the cities that we're discussing, are there any ones that sort of are standoffish towards Americans, see us as ugly Americans, or are there cities that embrace the Americans? If you're looking for a friendly environment, where should I travel?
Ireland, England, Scotland. The thing about the politics these days is that Europeans are very aware of what's happening in the States. Their American politics headline their news all the time. So they're very up to date on what's happening, a lot of the drama that we're experiencing, and all these, this fast talk and colorful language that we have, spoken and tweeted. So, Europeans are curious. They're somewhat intrigued. They want to understand what's going on. And what I would recommend is you'll never encounter people that hate you just for being American or are standoffish because of it. But what they will do is they'll be interested to start a conversation. And so if you are able to just kind of share on a plain field or without too much coloring what's happening back here, they're interested in hearing about it. So
are they? Do you think
with
I'm sorry.
some discussion points? Yeah.
There's a little delay. I apologize. Is there any sympathy that comes from these countries? I mean, if I was to go over there and say I have a problem with our basketball colored president, with our orange president, would they give me sympathy? Do you think, or would they not?
You might find some sympathy. Yes, no matter what country you're in, like Italy, they'll be like, yeah, we had our own Trump for years, named Berlusconi.
Berlusconi, right?
So and each country has their own funky politics. It's just one of the first times that it's been so noticeable coming from this side of the Atlantic.
We're talking to Andy Steves. The book is Andy Steves, Europe, City Hopping on a Budget. Since you mentioned budget, if, say, I'm a young traveler, say I'm somebody getting out of college, and we got a lot of listeners that have graduates coming up, and they're thinking about doing that traditional year over in Europe. Yeah. Is there a particular area of Europe that's more of a budget beater than any other?
Yeah, generally, the further east you go, the cheaper everything is. In cities like Krakow, you can have a beer for €1, so $1.50. You can have a plate of pierogi, so those Polish dumplings for €2. So you can be full and well on a night out for under $10. It's pretty cool. The same thing in Budapest. You can still find cheap food in Prague. So the further east you go, the more budget-friendly it is. And the other thing I would say is pack light. Pack as light as you possibly can because you're moving. Packing takes energy. It takes time. It's a headache. Dragging it all around is a pain. So pack light and head east, I'd say.
Does the movie? Let's talk about the movie Hostel. If you're traveling to Eastern Europe and you're approached by, say, a model quality woman who wants to make love to you and then wants you to go to some sort of abandoned warehouse, you should be wary of that. Where I don't even know where Hostel came from, where that concept. But I would assume that it is as much of a fiction horror movie it is that had to be based on something. Are there, if you travel closer to areas of conflict, the further east you go in some of these countries, is there anything dangerous like that? Because I mean, Americans grew up watching the movie Hostel and thinking that it's you have to be on guard. But I think when you travel anywhere, you have to have your guard.
Are there 5-star hostels?
Are the hostels cheaper the farther east you go?
Yeah, you can, again, €10 beds in Krakow, €15 beds in Prague, and they are great hostels. I know what you're talking about. I've never seen the movie, but I've been talking about it for 8 years because I do travel talks to college students. Right. And we have, hostels are fun, they're safe, they're clean. We Americans, we don't have a hosteling culture, but you can find great hostels all across Europe, and it's a great way to meet international travelers. And you can meet up with them. Maybe there's a cute Aussie that you meet up with and hit it off. You go out sightseeing in the day, and you go out for fun at night. But yeah, always keep your situational awareness up, and it's good unless you've traveled before. It's good in an unfamiliar city to just stay with friends, just so that you can all just watch out for each other and have a good time, but not out of any sort of sense of paranoia. It's just good to be traveling with their friends.
Andy's got a website, too. It's andysteves.com. On your one sheet here, it says the best food off the beaten path in Paris and Dublin, and I'd love to hear about that. Can you talk about, because I may be heading to Paris for the first time. I'm very excited about the potential of that in the next couple of years. I'd love to take my wife. She's wanted to go. Where's the best food off the beaten path in Paris?
Yeah, in Paris, you have a district called the Canal District. Back in the day, it was just kind of like nobody paid attention to it. It's in the northeast side of town, north of the Bastille district. And that has really popped off recently with all sorts of cafes and bars and interesting clubs. One of them, there's a place called the Comptoir General, which means the general store. And it used to be these old horse stables, but now it's been converted into an artistic space, discoteca or club, cafe, and lunch spot. So there's all sorts of really cool things to check out up and down the Canal Saint-Martin, if I remember correctly. It's a really cool bohemian neighborhood.
Now, you mentioned that Seattle is your home base when you're back. How long after you get back home, when you've been traveling, as you said, for 5 months, how long before you start getting the bug again? Because it can be addictive.
Yeah.
How long before you want to get out and do it all over again?
I'm home for about 3 weeks, and then I head back out in a week to lead some tours across Europe. I'm leading 2 3-week tours, just a general kind of backpack and loop, starting in Amsterdam, dropping all the way down to Rome, and back up to Paris. So I'm doing 2 of those back to back, starting next week.
Are they primarily for young people, these tours, or can an elder statesman like me join one of your tours?
Everybody's welcome. It's these tours are designed for budget-minded travelers and the young at heart. So there's no age limit at all. You just got to be ready to enjoy hostels and have a good time.
That's me, Andy, because although I'm 58 years old, I can always say I have the mind of a child when I travel around. That's all. That's good. And if you have one last trip, and you're not bringing your tour groups, you're not bringing anybody. You have one last city where they said, "This is it, Andy." Then you're going to be stapled to your bed in Seattle for the rest of your days. What is the city that you get on a plane and get to for your last 2 weeks?
I love Budapest. Budapest is
That's really
an
I've heard
incredible
that.
city these days. It's full of these thermal hot spring baths. So the water comes out of the ground at near boiling temperature, and then they funnel it into these beautiful bathhouse complexes. And so I would spend my 2 weeks going from bathhouse to bathhouse, if you ask me.
There you go. All right, I like that. Budapest. And did you ever get your answer on the hottest women in Europe?
He said near Eastern Europe. He said
near
Prague.
Eastern
He lived
Europe,
in Prague
pretty
for
much.
6 years. I imagine he liked the scenery.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't complain. And like I said, Budapest is right up there with Prague. So.
And how does somebody get into? I know you've got the book Andy Steves Europe and all that. How does someone get in touch with you? Is it andysteves.com if they want to explore maybe participating in one of your tour groups?
Yeah, check out andysteves.com. And I just recently started doing Instagram. So I'm doing all sorts of travel inspiration tips, product recommendations at Andy Steves Travel. So check that out. And thanks for connecting here, guys. It's been a fun chat.
Last question for you, Andy. Is your dad doing okay? Is he still making television? Is he still doing that?
Oh, my gosh. He's doing more and bigger stuff than ever. He's about 20 days into his 90 days over in Europe, and he does a video entry, kind of a video blog on a daily basis throughout this his time over in Europe. More tours than ever, more books. They just launched Iceland. So, yeah, definitely you can check them out at ricksteves.com as well.
Oh, thank you, Andy, and we wish you nothing but the best. This is really something I'm going to put in the library because this has got so much detail, and it's a great, great guidebook, and I wish you continued success. Thanks for taking the time to come on the Mike O'Mara Show.
I appreciate it, guys. Happy travels.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
That's Andy Steves, and Oscar, way to get that question in there.
Somebody had to ask it.
About the hottest women, and I think Budapest, and isn't that the way you pronounce it?
Budapest, yes.
Yeah,
with the bathhouses and hot women, that's two great tastes that go great
ask
together.
Which city had the loosest moral compass? The women did.
Well, that was well phrased. I think.
I figure a classier approach would probably get us a better answer.
Do you think the Steves boy love to travel, or do they just hate their family?
I don't know. I wasn't going to get into the wives and the girlfriends and all that because I wasn't sure.
We could have asked who the sturdiest women were in Europe.
Sturdiest
women.
Next time.
A lot of the Irish girls.
Yeah, those Dublin dames.
Yeah. Here's your point of Guinness. Let me get you. Well, 2 years it'll be Paris.
Paris, what's going on with Paris?
You're gonna love it.
You hate
it's
going to Maine.
So much fun.
I know. Well, I don't like to travel. Mrs. O'Mara would like to, and I don't have that long.
You know what you should get over there, Mike? They've got this stuff. This bread is outstanding. It's French bread.
Yeah.
You'd love it.
And pommes frites.
Yep. Yeah, it's like potatoes. I'm pretty sure the last time I was in France, I ate horse.
You're going to love the little cafes.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, but then again, this year it's going to be Bowie, Maryland, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah,
You can watch the Bay Sox.
yes, the Bowie Bass.
They have pommes frites at that stadium.
Yeah. All right, so it's Andy Steve's Europe,
Again.
City Hopping on a Budget, available at Amazon.com, and of course, go through our page to get that book, and you can find out all about his tours at andysteves.com. I just hope he doesn't hold up a flag. That's the one thing I hate with the tour groups. It's like, we're over here.
Over here.
I'll be
now.
over here.
Oh, you know what? Better than a flag, like a paddle.
Right.
I'm happy
Yeah.
Rob asked about the the American sentiment in these countries.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask him about there's so many unfortunate terrorist and scary terrorist attacks that you're
Yes.
like,
But
man.
it's more safe in Europe than it is here.
Yeah.
I get it.
Just remember that. That's the way it goes. That's statistics. And if you really look at it, that's the way it is. And but I will not be using Andy for my tour when I go to Paris. I'm going to be going on Aunt Lydia's handmade tour. That's what I'm doing. Thank you very much.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
I shall pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me. Who's got you?
Well, let's start with your vital statistics. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, I don't, but, if I did, Miss Lane, you'd be the first to know about it.
And how big are you? How tall are you?
About 6'4".
6'4". And how much do you weigh?
Around 225.
225. Well then, is it true that you can see through anything?
Yes, I can. Oh, pretty much.
What color underwear am I wearing? Oh, I'm sorry, I embarrassed you, didn't I?
Oh, no.
I did.
No, not at all, Miss Lane. It's just that this platter must be made of lead.
Yes, it is, so?
Oh, you see, I sort of have a problem seeing through lead.
Oh, that's interesting. Problems and first name. Do you have a first name?
What do you mean, like, Ralph or something?
No, I mean like,
Pink.
Huh?
Pink. Sorry, Miss Lane. I didn't mean to embarrass you.
Oh, you didn't embarrass me. Do you like pink?
I like pink very much, Lois.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
Rob Spiewak and his little tribute to Margot Kidder. We lost Margot Kidder yesterday. That was a very, very sad life that she led, and that's unfortunate. But that's Lois Lane, and that's a clip from Superman with Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, the first Superman, yeah.
The very first one, the one that they made a really, really big deal about back in the day. We are live from the heart of our nation's capital in the Podcast Village studios. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. The Mike O'Mara Show, a radio show and podcast with a worldwide network of listeners who get it. If you're here, you're in the know. You can listen 24/7 on our new PlayAPod app, and you can send us items for the weekly mailbag, which we're going to do in a minute here. They can be sent to Rob with 2 B's at MikeO'MaraShow.com, and you can call us anytime, 888-920-MORE. That's 888-920-6673. The Mike O'Mara Show is on now and brought to you by Beachbody On Demand. The weather's getting hot. You know that. It's beach time, so more than ever, you need Beachbody On Demand. Beachbody On Demand, this is the time of the year for it. That's why they're telling us to tell you about it now. It is a streaming service that gives you instant access to super effective workouts that you can do anywhere 24/7. This is the company behind P90X, Insanity, 3-week yoga retreat, and many, many more. Hundreds of workouts for all fitness levels, ranging from bodybuilding to weight training, to cardio, to yoga. You can use any device you have. It can be your computer. Mrs. O'Mara uses her tablet. You can use your smart TV device, anything. Roku, Apple TV, Chromecast. Here's the best part. TMOS listeners can try it absolutely free.
Yep.
I know that Oscar loves it.
Absolutely.
He has talked about it. Rob has used it.
Yes.
I have used it. It's fantastic. I really want you to try this service because it will make you feel better, I promise. Our listeners can get a special free trial membership when you text TMOS to 303030. Remember that. That's access to this entire platform for free. All the workouts, the nutrition information, which they add on to that, and support totally free. Again, just text TMOS to 303030. That's what I want you to do.
I would like to add briefly that I asked my girl yesterday about the Brazilian butt lift because we mentioned it yesterday.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And she said, look, I'm a yoga instructor, but there are so many other aspects of my body I don't know about in certain workouts.
Sure.
And she uses the Brazilian butt lift because that's what she wants to focus on.
Fantastic.
So if an expert can use it, anyone can use it.
You bet.
You know, it's just my opinion that when you're talking about Shannon doing the Brazilian butt lift, you could take 45, 50 minutes of the show.
Sure.
Every day just to discuss that.
You have your own podcast.
You know, since they are a sponsor, Beachbody On Demand, I'm just wondering if we could ever get a
demo?
A demo of
Why
the
not,
Brazilian
Mike?
butt lift
Anything
when
for
she's
the
in
show.
the studio. Anything for the show.
Anything for the
Look
show.
at that man.
Look at that.
Look at
Solid.
that man.
Very
That's
solid.
fantastic.
Hire that man.
Hire that man. You know what? I was really hoping for a scary story if, from Andy Steve.
He lives sort of a charmed life, I guess. Maybe he has it in his blood.
He's had it good.
Yeah.
Probably has a big family across Europe.
Well, lots of kids, you mean?
The legend.
Yeah, it's,
hostile.
Think
I'm
about
such
that.
a rube. Do you think he leaves that interview going, who was that rube that was talking to
No.
me, 58-year-old guy, where his idea of like Eastern Europe is hostile?
Get my literary agent on the phone. I want to talk to
It
him.
was telling that he said if you meet a cute Aussie, right?
Yeah.
Which means, and we all know the women from Australia and New Zealand are the prettiest and fittest people we know, right?
Are
Yes.
they?
Oh, you never knew that?
No, I didn't know they had that reputation.
Oh, my God, yes.
I meant it when I said Prague, and it's not just
Yeah.
because Porno Dan shot his movies
There's
over
the
there.
name. Thank you for
Yes.
bringing
No.
his name up.
It's
Sorry.
it's in Australia. They are the fittest, most attractive people that and to a man. Friends that have gone over there for work, friends that have gone over there when they were on tour for their bands. They said if they were single, they would have moved there in their 20s and figured it out.
I got
And
cheated.
but
I got
don't
cheated.
the men Sheila's isn't the culture over there a little sexist too?
Well, I think so,
In
yeah.
Australia,
What's wrong with
that's what I
that?
heard.
Well, it started as a
thank you,
penal
Oscar.
colony. I mean, they're
All
criminals.
right.
Penal.
All right, all right, enough of penal. Can we open the penal mailbag,
guy.
please?
Do you
Can
want
we
to?
do that,
Yeah,
please?
okay.
Thank you very much.
all about you. Write me a letter.
Now, I love this.
Lonesome as a man can be. So write me a letter, 'cause I won't be myself.
Welcome to the Mailbag, tighter and brighter for your listening pleasure. We begin today. Hello, fellas. For your conversation last week, do I have to wait for the whole song to finish? Or,
You don't. You never do.
Per your conversation last week regarding Beluga's age.
Remember, you couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was recently listening to random Don and Mike shows on a certain not-to-be-named website and came across a segment about Mike's then-new girlfriend, Carla. She had just gotten a cute little pug puppy named Beluga. The show was either August 31st or September 1st, 2004, making Beluga around 14 years old.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
No wonder you guys are worried about the summer.
Mike, that's 98 to you and me.
That's, really?
Yeah. If you go with the 7, that's the rule of dog
That's
years.
from
7.
Daniel Lencioni.
Hey, that's a good info.
Beluga's in the sweet spot
Hey, Beluga. 14.
for death.
Beluga's like Betty
Still
White.
He still wagged his tail when I took him out today to poop. He still
Could have
wagged
been a
his tail.
seizure.
Very excited.
But last
Twitching.
night he came out of the bedroom and I was watching my marathon of Killing Eve. I was binging like you would not believe, and he just walked around looking for Carla, and Carla was in the bedroom with him. So he's a little out of it. Greetings, gentlemen. We make.
I've done
Getting
that.
A little tired of talking.
Where's your mother?
Greetings, gentlemen. We make purchases at least once a week through your Amazon portal. We shave with Harry's. Blue Apron feeds us. And now, Cornerstone First has helped us take control of our debt, along with a bit of cash for some home improvements. I emailed Cornerstone, and after only one conversation, Johanna, is it Joanna or Johanna?
I think it's Johanna.
Johanna and her team quickly devised a plan that kept our costs down and found us a fantastic interest rate. We did our research, and after finding that no other lender could beat Cornerstone's rate, We pulled the trigger. Johanna and Emily walked us through each step of the process, making it simple and easy. Within 2 weeks, we were closing at the comfort of our own kitchen table.
Love it.
Our experience with Cornerstone couldn't be beat. It was amazing, and I hope TMOS continues this relationship. That's a thank you to Cornerstone, and thank you, TMOS. Luke, last name withheld. But that's fantastic, isn't it? Way to go, Luke.
Yeah.
Well
we
done.
appreciate that.
That's what we talk about.
That's
Service.
awesome.
Yeah.
White glove service.
Next letter says, I have a very short request for my birthday. I would be eternally grateful if I could just hear Charlie's laugh. Thanks for your consideration. Love, Lori Sandler, Canada.
Charlie Stew and Snapple-A. That's me.
How you doing, Charlie?
Charlie's old. Guys,
Did Charlie leave already?
Charlie's gone. Guys, thank you for the attention you called to COPD this week. My father passed away at home under hospice care on April 12th, 2018 at 7:35 p.m. I'm sorry about that. He had been a smoker for 55-plus years, so what Ted Koppel said about Big Macs and heart disease really resonated with me. R.I.P. Harry L. Wheeler, 1947 to 2018. I have listened faithfully to your show for many, many years, and I always find something to relate to. Thank you again, Leah Wheeler Ames. Leah, sorry for your loss,
Yes.
and I appreciate the feedback. People are very, very open, and we've had relationships for a long time with our listeners, and it's always very, very gratifying when somebody shares something like that. So thank you, Leah, and your father will be with you in spirit for the rest of your life, so be aware of that. Good morning. I wanted to thank the Mike O'Mara Show for my Mother's Day gift. My husband, Randy Edgar, has listened to your show religiously for years. He purchased a Fab Fit. Is this like Sponsors Corner
These
this
people
week?
are excited about our sponsors. I mean, I'm not going to silence them.
Hell no.
He purchased a Fab Fit Fun Box using the TMOS code for Mother's Day. Thank you for giving him a great gift idea for Mother's Day. I love it. And him, Mandy Edgar.
That's nice.
Thank you very much.
Perfect.
We had a David Edgar that we worked with, who's still a radio personality. Some ways in Pennsylvania, isn't he?
I believe
Something
so,
like that?
yeah. Good guy. Nice guy.
Moving right along, I've been listening to your show since 1993. I was hooked after the first time I listened and even called in for a birthday spanking when I turned 19. Flash forward to today. My daughter Ashley has grown up listening to your show, and she now references your show from time to time, which makes me smile. I want to wish her a happy 18th birthday tomorrow and overwhelming congratulations for graduating from high school this year. Also, our oldest daughter, Kara, graduated from college on May 12th. Always, when I hear that name, I say, oldest daughter, Kara. I don't know why that always comes
With a
up.
C, not a K.
I'm sorry.
Capital
this one-
C, right?
Okay, very good.
That's evil.
Graduated from college on May 12th. We are extremely proud of both of our daughters' accomplishments. One last request.
Needy.
Please wish my husband, Brian, a happy 19th anniversary on the 22nd of May. Well, is it their anniversary?
It's their anniversary.
It's a little early.
Yeah.
All right.
Early.
Needless to say, it is a
take
very busy month, but I know I have my extended family of TMOS to get me through each and every day. My only hope is that someday I will be able to meet you all at an event, Las Vegas.
Yes.
And that would be a dream come true. Thank you for all that you do. Sincerely, Letitia Waltersdorf of York, Pennsylvania. Well, to Letitia and the entire Waltersdorf family.
The Waltersdorfers.
I wish that the Waltersdorf, the people of Waltersdorf-Stinia.
The last name is a whole name by itself.
Congratulations.
Waltersdorf. Yeah. Lots of stuff.
Yeah, sounds like I'd be on a Young Frankenstein.
Happy anniversary.
Waltersdorf.
It would be Fräulein Waltersdorf.
Hello, Frau Waltersdorf. We're waiting over here.
Don't they have the best snacks there?
Yes, they do. The delicious.
Yeah. Oh, Frau Waltersdorf.
Soup waffles.
I've bought you a Cadbury cream egg for Easter. Would you like to bite into it? This is delicious, Frau Waltersdorf.
Would you like a Kinderwaffel?
Would you like a Stroopwafel, Frau Waltersdorf? Welcome to Budapest. Would you like to come out to the abandoned warehouse where we are putting on leather aprons and chopping off fingers for Waltersdorf? Oh, Waltersdorf, it's so nice to see you. Where is Herr Waltersdorf? He's not here. He came to the special warehouse party we had last night, and unfortunately, he's in a cart now being wheeled down the hallway in pieces. Herr Waltersdorf, I have hostel on the brain. What kind of thoughts does the Michael Mary get when he has a travel writer on? He starts thinking about the movie Hostel. There we go, Frau Waltersdorf.
Dear Mike, Rob, and Oscar, I'm writing to wish my boss, Matthew Russell of Herndon, Virginia, a very happy birthday. Suck up!
Yeah,
Anyway,
right? That's what I thought.
No, I'm kidding. He is a longtime listener, supporter, and mega fan of the show. On May 10th, he officially entered his 50s. Ooh! He is a devoted son, great husband, awesome dad, and all-round good guy. And I hope he gives me a raise. No, I put that in on my own. I know he would be so honored and love it if you would wish him a happy birthday. Thanks so much, Marsha Branson. How about a song?
Oh,
Okay?
I think a song is nice.
All right. Marsha Branson wants a raise, wants a big raise. So Matthew Russell, it won't be a tussle, give her a raise. She wrote a suck-up letter to us. She needs a big fat raise or maybe some benefits or maybe a new corner office or something. Wherever you work, she doesn't mention that. But she loves you, Matthew Russell, and she wants you to have a happy birthday. Her name is Marsha Branson. She wants more.
A new pencil sharpener.
Oh, yeah.
A new pencil
Paper clips,
sharpener, yeah.
a ball of rubber bands. Any office supply would be nice.
There you go.
Very
Have
nice.
a great day. You have so next letter. You have so graciously wished my daughter Grace Cortez a happy birthday every year since she turned two. Two. Now that she is 6 years old, she has begun looking at cars. And makes comments about wanting certain vehicles for her first car when she earns her driver's license. Have I mentioned the game we play down here?
No.
When we go down like in the southern reaches, the Richie Rich areas of Southwest Florida.
Oh, the Bentley game?
The Bentley game.
Yeah,
I scare my family when I do that. Because seriously, I'll go, Bentley!
It's like punch buggy.
Yeah, but except this could result in a car wreck.
Only extremely rare. Because they are rare. They're still rare even
yeah.
down here. But when I see it, I scream. Anyway, now that she is 6 years old, she makes comments about wanting certain vehicles for her first car when she earns her driver's license.
Only 10 years. She plans ahead. Yeah.
I know we are a decade off, but does Roddy have a suggestion about a solid, reliable first car? Thank you, Daniel P.H. Cortez. Well, Rod, why don't you tell Daniel Cortez what he's... Oh, do you have it?
No, you have it.
Oh, I don't know where it is.
It's search new, and and it's in there.
New.
Search new.
Let's pad for him.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I would ask for the worst cars.
Like
I
what?
wanted a neon.
You can search the soundboard for like a sound.
You would search your iTunes if you don't have it in your soundboard.
A Dodge Neon.
Yeah, you know what I wanted was AMC.
This isn't like the old one I have where I could bring it up. I don't know where it is.
Well, can we have an impression of Roddy then?
No.
Oh, then
you should have given me a warning on this.
It was in the subject. It was in the subject line of your email.
It's a new Corvette. What do you mean it was in the subject line of my email? What the?
He doesn't read that. He reads the body. That's all he does. He's Mike the Body O'Mara.
Come on, really?
Yes.
Don't Easter egg your messages.
I'm not Easter egging them.
Come on.
But thanks for choosing a side, Oscar. Makes
Mike,
it more
Rob,
fun.
and Oscar,
I had to choose the power side.
I have a. Well, it's not a side. I don't read.
Power dynamic.
You say mailbag.
I'm always
going to
side with Dad.
Subject of that. Come on.
Hi.
Mike, Rob, and Oscar, I have a question I'm hoping you can answer. When I was in the 10th grade in suburban Anne Arundel County, circa 1986-87, I had a teacher for music appreciation class named Donnie Simpson.
Oh, wow.
He happened to be an African-American man who was always very dapper and addressed everyone in class, "Hey, man." I mean, this in all sincerity, could my teacher have been the famous Donnie Simpson DJ? "Hey, man, how are you?" I was talking to a friend of Donnie's yesterday. Did he ever have a side job as a public school music teacher? I don't see Donnie doing that. It's
No, and
just
also,
me.
wasn't he sort of amazingly popular in 1988, like on Video Soul?
He's been famous since he was like 17.
Yeah.
Since Detroit, where he started.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. I've listened to every one of 2,000 shows and every bonus show, too. Best regards, Jeff C. I don't know, but we'll have to ask Tony if Donnie ever worked in the school system, like as a sidelight or something, just to give back. He would do something like that.
Yeah.
I would think.
I had a
don't
woodshop teacher that was he was so slick and so charming.
How
right?
charming was he?
So
Right.
charming that I want to say 10 years later, I saw him on Fox 5 News because he had slept with one of the students.
Really?
Yeah, I was like,
Wow.
I used to think, I was like, man, this guy's gonna sleep with every one of my classmates. He's so cool.
We had a very young, I had a very young government teacher in my junior year, and he was the teacher that would show up at Beach Week.
Oh,
yeah,
problems.
and now he's principal at James Madison. So congratulations.
I didn't have a creepy teacher. I just had a mean teacher, a real prick. I mean,
Really?
It was really difficult to do. My 8th grade biology teacher, he was not a kind person.
Really? Any examples?
No, I just remember his name. I'll never forget it. It's
What was
terrible.
it?
He's terrible. Don Imus. We have a.
We're gonna dissect a fraud.
Yeah, come on in here. Sit down. Sit down right now. Yeah.
All right, here you go. Don't touch that. Don't touch that gas. Yeah, don't light that flame. Blow the whole damn room up. Bernard.
Bernard.
Our last. Wasn't that the guy, Bernard?
The stupid sidekick.
Yeah. I hold in my hand the last letter,
Yay!
gentlemen. Wow. Full mailbag today. Dear Mike, Rob, and Oscar, I am a former resident of Manassas, Lucky, who has relocated to the Myrtle Beach area. Now, that is lucky.
That is a good trade.
This is the way you wrote it. I'm a former resident of Manassas who has relocated to the Myrtle Beach area. Thank Christ. I work in a chiropractic clinic, and to break the monotony of the day, I often regale my coworkers with tidbits of material I hear on your show. On Tuesday, I was telling my friend who works at the front desk about this radio DJ who worked in Ocean City and his TV spots that used to have scantily clad juniors yelling, "We love you, DJ Batman." A patient overheard us and without missing a beat spoke up in that raspy, all too familiar voice. All right. How funny could that have? God, would I have loved to be in that room. What happened next will amaze you. I was stopped in my tracks and began to laugh so hard I almost threw up. It turns out that would make me throw up, too. It turns out the patient and his wife are also zit transplants. And not only knew DJ Batman from Ocean City, but knew the Mike O'Mara Show as well. I just wanted you to know that you have listeners all over this great country of ours, and we seem to find each other no matter what the obstacles may be. Love you all. Keep up the funny, Jamie Ferrante. We love you, DJ Batman.
All right. All right. That's really funny, but also a little horrifying because he probably for a second thought it could have been DJ Batman on the table.
DJ Batman. Oh, my God. All right. Well, that's a great mailbag. Thank you. Keep them coming. If you want to do it next week, we'll do the same thing. And you can send those to Rob with 2 B's at MikeO'MaraShow.com. And we will be back with more fun and more thrills. I would like to have a frank, serious discussion about a serious topic.
All right.
Sauerkraut.
Oh,
I know we may
in.
have gone
All
there
in.
before. Okay, you don't. Well, way to bury the lead. We'll take a break and
No,
we'll
I
be
meant the
back with
topic,
more.
you know.
That's why I call it a tease. We'll be back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
The bills make me wanna. Hi, this is Jimmy Cerrito, the creator of the 5-year construction Ponzi scheme known as the Beer Garden. Back in the old days, I used to listen to Mike O'Mara for 4 hours a day. Now I only get a little more than an hour each day plus the bonus show. That's not enough for me. So I always listen to the OmaraCast. It helps me remember what happened last week on all the shows on the More Network. Because face it, I live in a van down by the river. And as the owner of Jimmy's Old Town Tavern, my memory is cloudy at best. Very cloudy. Cloudy like a Tito's and club soda with too much lime juice. Listen to AmeriCast. It'll be okay.
See, he was the guest on AmeriCast this week, and while he was Skyping in, he kept talking about how he was drinking Tito's and vodka, Tito's and water. And I think he must have recorded the promo after he did the podcast.
Oh, my God.
But he sounds good.
That's this week's AmeriCast?
Yeah, and I want people to know that are listening, there's nothing wrong with your set. We played that promo at the right speed.
Tito's and lime juice.
I will never forget when we were on spring break with him, and it was a day after a huge bender, and like 11 o'clock, he said, you know what? A vodka would be refreshing.
Yeah. Well, that's Jimmy.
There you go.
That's Jimmy and his liver. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Sleep Number. You've heard me talk about my Sleep Number bed and how great I sleep. Maybe you've considered a Sleep Number bed, but thought you couldn't afford one. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Rob Spiewak.
Yes.
Can you really afford another restless night's sleep?
Mike, you can't put a price on proper health.
Before you do anything, just go to a Sleep Number store and experience the adjustable comfort of a Sleep Number bed. And take it from me, I love mine. The Sleep Number bed lets you choose the comfort and support that's right for you. And I've never had anything close to it. I've never had any product, any bed that's lasted this long, that's been this durable, that's worked for me. It adjusts on each side. Carla has her adjustment. I have mine. It's got the little back razor that I love. It's fantastic. You actually feel how it contours to your back, shoulders. I was in bad back shape when I got this bed. I've never looked back. It's incredible, and no product's ever done that for me. The new Sleep Number beds are smart. They sense your every move, and they automatically adjust to keep you sleeping comfortably. There's even an adjustment for snoring, and I don't think your bed does that. No. It's really, really fabulous. I really think you owe it to yourself to go in and try one. My Sleep Number setting is an 85. Carla's is a 65. And last night, my Sleep IQ score was a 90. Again, come in during the semi-annual sale where you'll find clearance savings of $500 on a pressure-relieving Sleep Number Queen C4 mattress. Now only $1,099.99. There are more than 550 Sleep Number stores. Visit sleepnumber.com/TMOS to find the store near you. We've had a long-term relationship with Sleep Number, and it is a fantastic product. Yeah. If you get yourself a Sleep Number, tell them that I sent you, but also let me know, because I love to find out when people start enjoying the benefits of Sleep Number beds, and we thank you. Okay, Carla cooking a giant cauldron of sauerkraut with a pork roast in the middle of it, slow-cooked overnight. It was there in the morning. I am not a sauerkraut person. I don't know. I don't think, I like sour candy, but I don't like sauerkraut. And
in
I just
any
don't
form,
care for
any
it.
utilization?
No.
What about on a hot dog?
I don't care.
Like
on a hot dog.
Bratwurst.
No, I like mustard on a hot dog.
Well, you can have mustard and sauerkraut.
I like some onions on a hot dog.
What is sauerkraut used for?
It is a pickled cabbage.
Making me ill.
Essentially.
A pickled cabbage.
Essentially, that's what it is. A brined pickled cabbage. Very salty and tart.
But what is it used for outside of bratwurst?
It is very traditionally served with pork roast, as Mike mentioned, and it's great on hot dog. It's a side dish or a condiment.
Yeah, I don't care for it.
Oh, my God. I think you're missing out.
Have you ever had it, Oscar?
Are those
you ever
chopped
had it?
I've had sauerkraut, but not because I've asked for it. It's just comes.
What is the kraut? What is that? Is that cabbage?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like stringy cabbage. Is it a special kind of cabbage?
No, I think it's any cabbage that is brined and pickled in a vinegar base. I can give you an actual definition.
Because it just comes on your typical kielbasa, right?
Yeah, great with kielbasa.
That's where I've had it. When I was a kid, I used to think sauerkraut was at the Fixins menu where you would go get your big bite and then go put it on there, but it was just onions.
It speaks to something that maybe I have a problem with.
Because they don't sell sauerkraut at 7-Eleven.
I think they actually have it on the Fixins bar.
They do?
It's vinegar. That's what I think.
Oh, and I love vinegar.
Wow.
Is that you like vinegar?
Yeah. Mike, sauerkraut is finely cut cabbage. Sauerkraut is finely cut cabbage that has been fermented by various lactic acid bacteria. It has a long shelf life and distinctive sour flavor that forms from the lactic acid. You know that during World War II, when we had anti-German sentiments in the United States, people called sauerkraut victory cabbage.
Because they didn't want to say sauerkraut.
They didn't want to say anything German. That's a true fact. And that wasn't on the internet. I just knew
Victory
that.
Cabbage.
Victory cabbage.
I don't mind cabbage. I don't mind eating cabbage, but I don't just.
Well, that's one of the foods of your people.
So you what do you mean? You dip it in vinegar and then?
Well, if you make it from scratch, I've never made it from scratch.
Does Hellman's sell sauerkraut?
No, I don't think Hellman's makes it.
Where would you buy it?
Hebrew National makes it, and you can get it either refrigerated. They answer to a higher calling. You know this. You can either get it refrigerated, but also canned. For me. But not even with a pork roast.
I think it's
I'm not somebody. Look at me. I was talking about my weight yesterday. I'm not somebody that will look at a product and say, "I will never eat this.
It's a messy
is something
topic.
I will never eat."
The messy
and
topic.
I don't like anything that makes the entire house smell.
But it's a great smell. It's
not a great
I bet it's
smell.
probably my father's favorite meal is pork roast, sauerkraut, and mashed potatoes.
Really?
Yeah, a tradition in our house. Maybe
is
also
bangers and mash have cabbage?
No, that's mashed potatoes
bangers
and
sausage, meat.
Yeah.
And potato, which is perfect because you don't have some soury, vinegary nastiness that's floating around.
Yeah,
there.
and you know what? Here's another great thing.
How
Traditional
about sausage and peppers? That's good. I go to the ballpark and I've had that.
That's
great.
a
nice little combo. But you put the sour. It's just overwhelming. I don't like anything that overwhelms.
Then maybe you're using too much.
Flavors.
Maybe you're using too much.
I don't know. Not going to happen. I just wanted to say
sauerkraut. Great. Also, if
one.
you're having a pork roast dinner, and you are obviously, mix it with a little applesauce on the side or baked apples, because the cinnamon and the sauerkraut works great together.
Last night I'm having whatever I am told to have because I'm having 1,600 calories a day.
Soup.
Yes, I am having 1,600 calories a day.
Calories. That's what normal people have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, for me, I've been overeating. What do you mean? It's not what normal people have.
If you have a balanced diet, 1,600 calories is usually what you should intake. What are you intaking?
What do you mean?
Intaking.
That's what normal people. That's restricted.
That's a
calories.
balanced diet.
It also depends on the size of the creature. For example, 1,600 calories to you is probably like 3,000 to me. Bigger machine. Like, a Cadillac uses more gas.
So last night,
Mike takes diesel.
This is what I am trying to do. Thank you. I am trying to embrace the feeling of hunger and not succumb to it.
Don't you hate it?
That's what I did last
eating,
night.
Mike.
It was last night, and I have to say, when you wake up in the morning after you have resisted, and the worst time for me is when Carla goes to bed.
Sure.
That's when I would forage and sneak in there and have a little something. And waking up this morning, I just woke up feeling so much better. Not psychologically because I knew I didn't do anything bad, and the other thing, and that's what I have to.
and
I
physically,
have to learn
because
to psych myself into embracing that feeling.
When you get the hunger, like the snack
Yes.
attack,
The
right?
hunger.
Yes.
What works with me is I take my hands and I grab my gut, and then I shake it, and I say, "You fat ass, let it go," and then I shame myself into resistance.
Well, I can't do that because I'll break the furniture. So that's why I don't shake my gut.
Last time I had to shake my gut, I had to call in a crew.
Right. But one day, and the reason I'm talking about it publicly is, yes, you got it, to motivate myself. So,
Mike, sauerkraut
feel
is
free
a
to ask me
superfood, and you should learn to like it. Almost calorie-free.
Yeah, I don't care for it. I will take a break, and when we come back,
Almost
more
calorie.
fun.
Oh my.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to have some calories because it's cabbage, but it's like, it's like lettuce. You eat it like crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
When we come back, I will tell you we have solved the transportation problem up in Maine. We weren't quite sure what we were going to do, but we have solved it, and we've got lobster rentals. I'll tell you all about that when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hi, this is Maddie, and so far on Guilty Pleasures, we've heard from ASMR addicts, stuffed animal collectors, reality TV junkies, and now we want to hear from you. Do you want to air out a secret pleasure that's been weighing you down? Do you find joy in something that's socially unacceptable? Are you one of the many middle-aged men that apparently love Dawson's Creek? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then Maddie's Guilty Pleasure podcast is the place for you. Join us on the More Network as two Maddies from Buffalo talk about our weird habits and yours. Email your guiltiest pleasure to pleasure@MikeO'MaraShow.com to have those secrets lifted off of your shoulders. And be sure to tune in to see how your weird habits compare. And remember, it's okay to be really, really, really different.
That's wonderful. Looking forward to hearing that. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Cornerstone First Financial. Here's a message to all you millennials from Cornerstone First Financial. Good on the heels of Maddie's promo.
Yes.
Did you know that millennial home buyers are the fastest growing segment of home purchasers today? Did you know that? They are stepping up to invest in their future with home purchases. In fact, a millennial homeowner is 10 times more likely to become a millionaire than their renting counterparts. 10 times more likely.
Mike, 10.
Buying makes good financial sense if you're paying $2,500 a month in rent. That's the equivalent of a $3,100 mortgage payment when you calculate the tax benefits. And that equals a $500,000 mortgage loan. Why rent when you can own? Invest in your future. Just remember, it's important to use a lender that can help navigate the ins and outs of home ownership for the first-time home buyers. Cornerstone First Financial will hold your hand through the entire process, making sure that they get the best deal for you and your family. I promise you, Cornerstone First Financial will give you sound advice. Click their banner on our website or call Cornerstone First Financial, 202-625-1221. Mention TMOS and receive a free appraisal at closing. Personal attention from application to closing. Licensed in Maryland, D.C., Virginia, Florida, Georgia, and Colorado. Don't wait. Now is the time to call Cornerstone First Financial. All right. Amber alert down here in Florida.
Oh, no.
Scary. Always scary.
I hate that.
Yeah, I mean, getting back to the show, sorry about that. I just noticed that I've got so much electronics, I must say.
You're surrounded, I must say. It's a veritable
So we weren't sure what
laboratory.
we were going to do, and everything as far as having two locations and moving part of the year to one part of the country speaks to transportation and getting it there and what we're going to do.
Logistics, Mike.
Yeah,
Logistics.
lots of logistics.
Yeah. We were a two-car family until a couple of months ago. We blew that off, and now we're a one-car family, and so we don't have any wheels up there. And I was exploring, do we send a car up there? Do we do? A lot of people, snowbirds, live this world, and this is what you do. We have found a solution, and I am happy to say Lobsterman Rentals will be providing us with our transportation for the summertime. I will be the proud driver of a pickup truck with a crew cab that I will be hauling my family around from my buddy Zach. And Zach is providing us with one of his trucks.
That's awesome.
And I'm so excited.
Perfect.
I am so excited. I cannot wait.
Define for me.
I cannot wait to go to the first family function and come driving into the driveway with a giant beat-up pickup truck. I cannot wait for that,
A
ladies
crew
and
cab,
gentlemen.
does that mean it has a back seat?
Oh, you are such a crew cab. Come on now. Don't you know what a crew cab is?
I don't
Look at Rob.
indeed.
Look at Rob. I don't know. What is that? Is that what the workmen drive?
Is that what the peasants have when they're going to fix the lawn?
It's a truck that's got a back seat
Okay,
area.
that's what I surmised that in context. Yeah, I did not know that.
The crew.
It makes sense. The crew.
Yes.
You see, thank you. It's a learning moment.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I am every day.
You're a man's man.
Am I?
No, I'm sorry. That one got me. Rob gave me a look that was just like this. His hands went up. I don't know.
Meanwhile,
where's little Micah going to sit on Carla's lap?
It's
Here's Mike
exactly what
pulling
it
into
says
the
it is.
family.
We can put. Why are you playing Sanford and Son? Oh,
Great.
Because this is, by the way, America, this is your friend Rob Spiewak's view of the American people
No,
that drive
this is
trucks.
this is
A pickup truck. It's got to be from a junkyard. It's got to be, or is it? What's a Red Fox driving it around?
Yes.
It's got to be from 1970s. No.
Oh God.
Well,
oh my.
Does it have the signage on it that says Lobsterman?
No, I'm
Okay,
saying
good.
he's a lobsterman.
Okay, I'm just checking.
We were talking about what we were going to do, and he said, "I got plenty. Why don't you borrow one from me?" And he's not gonna beat me up over it, but I'm gonna pay him, and we're gonna use it, and I'm probably gonna repair his truck when I'm up there, and give him a better truck
You're
back
gonna
at
get
the
it
end of the
fixed,
summer.
or are you gonna fix it?
I'm not going to fix it myself. I'm not mechanically inclined, but I'm going to take it to Mr. Fix-It and get it fixed and give him back. I plan on giving him back a better truck than he gave me at the beginning of the summer.
Wonderful. That's
he's
great.
picking us up in the air, but he's my buddy up there. It's become a very close friendship, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, and that's what we'll be hauling around in.
Have you ever had a pickup truck?
Yes, I have. Yes,
And
I
do you
have.
love
Yeah.
it?
I love pickup trucks.
I seem to remember you
Every
saying that you
man
loved
loves
it.
a pickup truck.
Parking is a bitch, though.
Why did you say?
Well, I'm not so
You've
sure I'd
never
love
had
a
the
pickup
desire.
truck.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think you would.
You know what'd be great is something like a El Camino that has the comfort of a station wagon but the utility of a pickup truck.
I think you probably be more comfortable in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. I
Oh,
think
that would be a good car, but really no
for you.
space to move anything.
Is there any fantasy car that you've thought about, Rob? We don't have much time, but I have to close this out somehow.
Yes.
I don't know. Yes, what is
I
that?
would love to have a classic checker cab.
A classic checker cab.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar, it's him. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we do. That's the way.
It doesn't
that's
have
the
to
way
be
it is.
yellow. It
Like
doesn't
the
have to
yellow
be
kind
garish.
that was in New York
Yeah,
City
the old
in the
New York.
1950s.
Yeah, beautiful cars. Wonderful.
Okay.
I don't think they make them
Roomy.
anymore. Very roomy. Yes.
Very roomy. All right. That's
It's
it.
a crew
We're
cab,
out of
Mike.
time
It has a
again.
back seat and everything.
Yes, it's got a crew cab, Rob. For the crew. The work crew. That's the way it
What
goes.
is this work you speak of?
Yes,
Did the lobsters going back?
From Rob Spiewak, the man who thinks callous is just a state of mind. We will take a break and come back with news you may not need. Bereavement. That was funny yesterday.
Thank you.
Rob and I had a pretty funny exchange yesterday. We'll be back. It's private. Bye, everybody.
Good morning, leeches. You're listening to The Mike O'Mara Show. Your mission is to subscribe to the bonus show, where you will hear laughter, tears, insults, meltdowns, naughty language, Oscar Santana destroying the English language, and always the possibility of danger. So subscribe to the Mike O'Mara bonus show, won't you? Your life just may depend on it. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Who's the author of that one?
That's Paulie from Brooklyn.
Oh,
Hey,
Paulie, a different take. That's wonderful. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Amazon. Still the best way to get what you need. However, if you want to make sure that we get credit for your Amazon purchase, you got to do it right. So listen up. Just click the Amazon link at the top of the TMOS website. It's super easy, and that will guarantee that we get credit for your purchase. So start clicking, because if you need it, Amazon has it. What is today's Amazon purchase of the day?
Think back when you started shopping Amazon, it was all about books, right?
Yes.
People would buy books on Amazon. So the book you should buy today is obviously Andy Steve's Europe, City Hopping on a Budget. We spoke to him today. The book was fascinating. Lots of great information, and actually a very pleasurable read. You can learn something by buying this book.
And a very pleasurable life for him, because he never was in danger.
Never turbulence.
If you, Amazon really does have everything. Find Andy Steve's book and more at the top of MikeO'MaraShow.com. Get to clicking, you Amazonians.
News.
Boo.
Hey.
I get the honey.
Hey. It's National Chocolate Chip Day.
Yum.
Are you ready for your chocolate chip statistics?
Yes.
2% of Americans say they hate chocolate chips. Boy, that's un-American.
2%?
Another 5% dislike them, 57% love them, 36% like them. That means 93% of Americans are
pro-chocolate chips.
I like the people that answered the survey with, how do you feel about chocolate chips? Do you hate them? No, I dislike them. Like they're annoying. Like an annoyance. That's really
the biggest
non-committal.
consensus on anything in this country, according to the survey, that we all like chocolate chips. Our 5 favorite ways to eat chocolate chips are
in cookies, in raw cookie dough, straight out of the bag.
Has anyone ever eaten chocolate chips straight out of the bag?
Of
Anyone?
course.
Yeah, of course. I think that's a
very
common snack.
In ice cream and in granola bars. Hey, that's a wild card.
Number 3, milk chocolate chips are by far the most popular. 51% those say those are their favorite. And 4, finally, 6% of people say they eat dark chocolate for their health. And 1% of people say milk chocolate isn't real chocolate. So those
Really?
1% of people can
I'm
bite
surprised
it.
that semi-sweet chips did not beat milk chocolate chips, because those are what you commonly use in cookies.
I
is the
don't know.
semi-sweet. I
Happy
drink bourbon
chocolate
for
chip
my
day.
health.
Bourbon.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yum, yum.
Your state can now legalize sports gambling. There was a federal law preventing states from legalizing sports gambling, but yesterday the Supreme Court struck it down. What are you covering your mouth for? What did I
Because
miss?
I'm just
What?
thinking of Gary Marshall. What do you think they're going to make legal? Gambling.
It was a 6-3 decision, with Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Sonia Sotomayor voting against, and Justice Stephen Breyer agreeing with them in part, which I had no idea was a thing. He dissented on one issue, but otherwise agreed with the court's ruling. The dissenters thought the law could be amended or pared down without being entirely repealed. It remains to be seen what kind of effect this will have. One recent study shows that 32 states would be interested in legalizing sports gambling to some degree if the federal law was struck down. Everybody's doing it. It doesn't matter. It's that's the way I feel about that.
Sure.
Sports gambling is a part of the national consciousness.
You know what
so
pushed them finally?
What's
These
that?
wonderful advertisers like Draft and all the
Yes.
other online. But
That's
they
it.
were like, oh, how are we going to get around this? How do we get involved? It's a $150 billion business.
Yeah.
Right. And if you tax it, it can be very, very lucrative for
Gambling.
So the whole royal thing, I don't track with it. I really don't. But this is a big story.
I'm into
about
this. This is
the royal.
big.
You're into the royal wedding?
Oh, yes.
Why?
Well, because, first of all, it only happens a
He's
handful
not.
of times.
Yeah.
I'll give you all the stats, Mike. I am into this.
You know why he's into
You're
it?
into
Let's say he's got a Jimmy Fallon following of this. It's expensive and big.
Yeah, and the father's causing all kinds of drama.
Oh, the Merkel.
Meghan Markle's father,
Margolis. What is it?
Thomas
The Merkel.
Markle,
Thomas.
may not
This
be
guy.
in London to walk his daughter down the aisle when she marries Prince Harry this weekend. And there are 2 reasons for that. First, he had a heart attack about a week ago. Well, okay.
Yeah.
That's it then. Thank you.
Contrived.
But he was actually still planning to be at the wedding until it was revealed that he had been staging paparazzi photos of himself.
Can't pick your family, Mike.
No.
God, I knew Carla said it that this lady was going to be trouble.
Yeah.
There were nothing scandalous.
Oh, catty.
They just showed him getting fitted
Should have
for his
been me.
Meow.
wedding outfit, looking at pictures of Meghan and Harry,
Did you know
reading a
she's half
picture book
black?
about England, stuff like that. But it made him look like he was cashing in on his daughter's new royalty, which he claims isn't the case. He says the paparazzi had been posting unflattering pics of him, so he just wanted to control the way he was portrayed. Oh, he's a sleaze.
Of course he is. Of course he is. And this is a slacker royal wedding because Harry will never be he'll never be president. He'll never be king.
Are you stroking out?
No.
Jesus. Listen, the father is a little bit WT, right? The sister set up the photo shoot. Her sister set up the photo shoot, right?
Oh God!
I'm sorry, his sister set up the photo shoot. So you've got.
I've always thought she was a climber. That's what I thought.
You've got a climber. Look at you guys. You're a caddy too.
Meow.
I know. No.
Oh
Let me explain.
God.
I just thought that Meghan Markle was not your. Was probably maybe there was a potential that she was in it for the wrong reasons.
Yep.
Do you think it's true love, Oscar?
Mike,
do you think it's true love?
And her name sounds like a Dr. Seuss character.
That you would call her a climber is mind blowing because the whole fairy tale of this is that she's
the whole fairy tale. Okay, Hoda. Thank you for calling it a fairy tale, Savannah. I appreciate it.
Mike, you live. You live in a world where people judge you all the time for your marriage.
Yes.
Do you think that everybody that says anything about Carla and your age difference is accurate?
Yes.
But as far as I'm concerned, that's the man that has a fairy tale wedding.
Well,
right there.
they can't say anything now because we've been together for 15 years.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it was. If she was, counting on the big cash in, she would have poisoned me by now. That would have been it.
Yeah, 18 years of you developing a tolerance for arsenic.
No, this is but when you're Oscar, when you're putting these people on the national stage, I just thought that Meghan Markle was an unusual royal bride.
She wasn't a blue blood.
She was not British, and she kind of it's been interesting, and she always, to me, this is a completely subjective observation, she always looked a little too into the fame part of it.
Yeah.
You know,
she was an actress, of course.
Yeah. So that's
what about Grace?
That's why Princess Diana was not an actress.
What about Grace?
Princess Grace was the most beautiful woman who ever lived.
And Grace Kelly left acting and left the spotlight to become a royal.
She's not acting on Suits anymore. She had her last episode.
I know, but I'm saying that.
I'll wait till the season finale. They'll bring her back.
I
to
was
boost
always
ratings.
kind of suspicious of her, so that's all. It's just my opinion. Let me finish the story, and then you can talk about your favorite people. The royal. You'll never know what he's going to like. Do you?
That's
you
what
never
he. That's
know
what he digs his heels in.
Where he's ever going to get behind. It's the whole Todd Moore thing. Yeah. They get behind the rich and powerful.
That's right.
That's what they love.
Ride them coattails.
Sources say Meghan is pleading with her dad to come anyway.
I've been here for 8 years.
But TMZ says he's been experiencing fresh chest pains and may check himself back into the hospital. Oh, God.
Mike, by the way, if you have a choice, get the fresh chest pains.
We've got a flat
They're so
ladder.
much better than the frozen.
Now, a royal spokesman says, quote,
Hello.
This is a deeply personal moment for Ms. Markle in the days before her wedding. She and Prince Harry ask again for understanding and respect to be extended to Mr. Markle in this difficult situation.
Meanwhile, Mr. Markle is on the hospital PA saying, hey, who wants to come up and take a picture of me?
I probably empathize,
sympathize, feel sorry for?
I feel sorry for her because, look, I just got married. I'm the freshest off this. Yes. And my mom tried to ruin everything, and then her mom tried to ruin everything, right?
Right.
And you had another person there,
and then
right,
you
that
had
tried to ruin
the
everything.
slutty girlfriend that was there for the little brother that tried to ruin everything.
Yeah, they want to make it all about them.
Cannot get out of their own way.
It sucks. It sucks. I feel, and in that respect, I feel for her, but just stay tuned. That's all I'll say on that wedding. Stay tuned.
I can't wait for Angie Goff's coverage. She's already over there.
Oh, really? And so are Hoda and Savannah.
Of course they are.
Yeah. By the way, my father, God rest his soul, is up in heaven right now going, don't forget that the British were the tyrants of history.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
True.
Very good. A new study out of the Netherlands found that short man syndrome really does exist.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike. The researchers found that guys under 5'7" would act more aggressively in social experiments than men who were taller. It's why we are going to be putting Adrian Garcia and Dan the Fan Man in a cage match together.
Hi, Mike.
So what does it mean? The researchers say it's biologically ingrained in short men to be more aggressive when they can and grab whatever resources they can because they might have fewer chances to get them.
Yes, sometimes they go out and buy the Washington Redskins.
Yes, there you go. There. More aggressive. A British fashion company called Pretty Little Thing just made the latest entry into the modern stupid jeans trend. Butt rip jeans. They're basically just regular jeans, but the lower half of the butt is totally ripped out, so both of your cheeks spill out of them. This goes hand in hand with kind of the bedazzling your butt.
The glitter butt.
The other day. I'm not sure how you could wear them in polite society or if anyone would let you sit on their couch, but if you want them, they're on sale for $34, which is actually quite reasonable.
Yeah, it is.
There you go. That's exciting.
But they're normally factory seconds, and they're much cheaper than that.
And now a little something. A 27-year-old guy named Seth Bryant from Lakeland, Florida, was with his 54-year-old mom, Judy, on Sunday for Mother's Day. And they were drinking.
Yay for Mom.
Eventually, Seth's dad tried to cut him off because he'd had too much to drink, and that made Seth very mad. So he put his fist on his dad's face and shoved him with it. Not a punch, but he just shoved him with the fist. His dad called the cops, and when they got there, Judy was so upset that her son was being arrested that she shoved her husband too. And she said to the cops, quote, "How's this for domestic violence?"
Oh, God.
So they arrested Judy too.
Judy.
They're both facing battery charges, and it's been a while, but I have another Florida slogan of the day.
This is a slogan for your home state.
Yes, Florida, where every Sunday is an extra drinking day because Mondays don't matter when you don't care about dick. Thank you very much. Thank you. There it is. Very good. All right. You know, we've all been there, right? The Sunday drinkers.
Yeah.
I'm having a party Sunday night at my house.
Sunday fun day.
Because Monday doesn't matter with the job I do. Yay!
My father-in-law had a house in Lakeland.
Yes.
Yeah,
did he really?
Yes. He liked to drink.
That's interesting. We'll take a break and come back with more. The Audio Vault and Rob Spiewak right here.
It's Political Persuasions.
Hey, it's Chris Freites with Political Persuasions. This week, Mike and I talk about Trump bringing home the Americans held captive by North Korea. Congressional polls, they are tightening. And Bomb Iran is back on the charts.
You can download Political Persuasions at politicalpersuasions.com, iTunes, Stitcher, and wherever fine podcasts are found.
Hey, everybody. It's the worst time of the year. You're seated between two fat people at the hockey game. No, full disclosure, I'm fat between two wide athletic men. They were.
Oh, okay.
They probably had 29-inch waists. They
All
were
right.
very fit. Your dog barely fits into his Sherpa carrier. You had to autograph a 25-square-foot oil painting of your fat face. We never talked about your face. Well, that was the other show.
Yes.
With
Doesn't
Oscar's
mean we can't
face.
talk about it here.
Yeah. Well, what? Can you bring it in? Can you bring the painting in?
I don't have it.
Did somebody buy it?
No, Chad has it.
And it's
Is
huge.
it in his house?
It was in his store last I knew.
I have to jump in. We're in the middle of a promo here, but I have to say, this is a picture that Chad commissioned of you.
No, a bad picture was taking me at a hockey game. I hated it so much that then Chad had it commissioned as an oil painting. It is 5 foot by 5 foot.
It is.
That's spectacular. I'd love to ask him about it, but he'll never come on the show. Everyone hates the Moody Blues, but you, what will you do? What will you do? Well, you filthy whore. How about the TMOS bonus show? The bonus show is an extra hour of TMOS comedy each and every week that will change you from a Bill Hader into a Linda Laughlin, star of the CBS television show Alice back in the day. La la la. Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Just go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click the bonus banner. And it makes a great gift. Spread some cheer, bonus show style. Get happy by giving back. You get access to all our bonus content, and you'll be helping TMOS. It is truly a win-win, so please quit sucking, and we thank you. So that painting is where is that painting now? Where is it existing?
Last I saw it, it was on Main Street in Fairfax. I don't think it'll fit in the studio in Fairfax, so I think it's still in his store. Commonwealth Dry Goods.
All right, if we there you go. Let me get the thing.
Yeah. Ding.
Yeah.
So, is it available for sale?
No. Somebody tried to offer Chad money, wouldn't take it. He wants it behind him during his broadcasts.
You mean
like as a backdrop?
At the studio?
At the studio.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
These are my friends, by the way. Not at all.
With friends like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the picture and it was a thing of beauty. It truly.
A lot of face.
He thinks it's unflattering.
A lot of face.
But I think it has sort of a surrealistic quality, almost like Salvador Dali.
Well,
like he's melting like a clock.
I look like Pablo Escobar ate Pablo Escobar.
Oscar, probably on social media, Oscar gets more people that submit pictures to me.
Yeah.
Say, this is Oscar without hair, arrested.
Yeah.
It's,
I
it's
saw
just
that.
I saw that guy.
Yeah.
So how do you like the painting?
Well, if you don't laugh, you cry, Mike. Like anybody would want to be immortalized in oil, but not that way.
I don't know. I think it's nice. It's an oil painting, like they have in the White House.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
Right?
like Teddy Roosevelt.
We talked about
bigger.
the presidential or the first lady's portrait.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Those things cost thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And my
Is that what
friend,
did he spend
and my,
thousands
and my
of
friend
dollars on it?
Chad put his hard-earned money on what is essentially something that will live in infamy forever in our ecosphere. As like, remember that time the Oscar's face was painted on a 5x5 foot canvas?
When did they unveil it to you?
At our record release event this past weekend.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
I didn't even get to see it. I didn't see anything until I took the drape off of it.
If he would consent to loaning it, I would love just one day to, even if we send an intern out to get it. I would love to have. I would love to see it on this show.
It's on tour.
Tell
It's
him
on tour?
Yeah, like the
It's
Mona
on
Lisa
tour.
or the Last Supper.
Tell him I'd like him to tour with it, and and maybe he could loan that
on
to
loan.
us. That would be
For
wonderful. I'd
special
like to
by
give a little-
special arrangement with the Corcoran Gallery of Art. Here's Big Face,
That would be good symmetry.
Big Shooter,
That
and
would-
Big Face.
That would be good symmetry between the show. And tell him if I do that, I'll plug his store again.
No worries.
And
I'll
we'll
let
do
him
that.
know.
It would be
I'll let him know.
wonderful. Do you think he'll say yes?
I'm sure he would. We just got to. We had to get a special truck to transport it.
A special? How big is it?
A 5 foot by 5 foot. It's a garage door.
Yeah, it's huge.
Now I have to have it. I have to see it. I have to see it where that brick is.
It would cover the entire backdrop.
It would.
That is
It would.
spectacular.
You know, we could get an
I
extra
love
camera just for the painting.
5
Tony,
by
you have to give
5.
up your camera for a day.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
We'll
my
find
God.
out. I'll ask him tonight, Mike.
That's special. I will time to open up the audio vault with Rob Spiewak. Take it away with your 5x5 audio vault.
This is a 5x5. Mike, do you know what an IBEX is? IBEX or IBEX?
It's the machine that broadcasts our video to YouTube, right?
Oh, wrong you are, Big Painting Face. What that
Okay.
is the answer to a question on the British version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. The host and British game show hosts always look like they've got 1 foot in the grave. They look like Brian Butterfield, all of them.
Okay.
This guy so mangled this. The format is the same as Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And the host thought he knew the answer. Listen to how this played out.
I will slightly hesitantly go, dear, final answer. And you know, so you don't.
I'm not even going to look at the screen. That's the correct answer.
Oh.
It isn't. What? It is a deer. Is it not a deer? I've seen them in Africa boinging along like deers. Oh no, you've just lost. £15,000. Are you sure? I've seen ibex boinging along, and they look like deer to me.
Yeah. At least I know if I'd asked the host for that, then we both would have been wrong.
Exactly.
How many cartons of cigarettes has this house? I've seen them run along.
But it was so awkward because he said it was right, and then the right answer lit up. He was just so not in communication with like the booth because of course you're right, and then it lights up in red. He says, "Oh, you're wrong." Ugh. So
who is the little kid next to the picture?
I
you
guess
sent me?
somebody went to Chad's store. I just sent Mike a picture
Oh,
of a
okay.
little kid standing next to the painting. And
for scale,
because Chad had it on display in his store, and people would stop by and take pictures
It's
with
the
it.
most he got this. That is the most unflattering.
but
painting
you
of
know
you.
what? It's a good capture by the artist. So kudos to the painter.
It's Oscar basically scowling.
Yeah, you're not smiling.
Jesus, I should tomorrow. Maybe more on this. I don't know. It's just oh god.
And while we're talking
God.
game shows, don't you think that Jeopardy
We drove
is
an hour so she could meet her idol. So excited she finally got a pic with, and it's this little kid next to Oscar. It is 5 feet. The kid's tall. This is massive. I didn't even know it was this big.
Oh, it is.
This big. I have to see this. I have to see this. I have to. This is spectacular. You tell Chad Dukes that this is truly of all the things he's done, and he's done a lot of wonderful things,
Yes.
and the fact that we've maintained a friendship after after the big debacle at WJFK, you tell him this might be the greatest thing he's ever done.
I'm inclined to agree.
Look, I loved it when it was just a painting. I didn't know it was a until I got
and
this
an oil
perspective
painting.
shot.
Yes,
Mhm.
looks good
my
on your
God
phone.
in
That
heaven.
made good wallpaper.
Oh God! Oh, fantastic!
Would you say, while we're talking game shows, Jeopardy is probably the most scholarly of the American game shows?
Oh yeah, and we watched last night, and this prick won, and I was so mad at this guy. I just didn't like. This guy wanted it so bad. This guy would shake his head when other people would get the
Oh
answer
no,
right.
he's one of those guys.
Yeah, and he looked like a balding, fat, without a beard Seth Rogen.
I'm glad
like older.
Glad you said without a beard.
Yes.
Because otherwise it was just going to be me. But anyway, it seems like Alex Trebek took a hard stand against a topic last night.
Hey, teachers, we don't need no education. We don't need no thought control.
So what's he talking about?
They were doing song lyrics, rock and roll song
I loved
lyrics.
it isolated. That's Pink Floyd. I just thought it was
Yeah.
good. Hey, teacher.
Hey, teachers, we don't need no education. We don't need no thought control.
Are you familiar with the trend?
Here's Jimmy with the Daily Double. What? I'm sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Are you familiar with the trend of baseball teams doing dugout bands?
No, I'm not.
They bring some percussion instrument into the
Oh,
dugout,
wow.
and this features Eduardo Rodriguez on drums and Brock Holt. I think just
Brock
playing.
Holt, Eduardo, they're two Boston Red Sox.
Yeah,
Brock
it's a-
Holt and Eduardo Rodriguez.
And I think he's playing water bottles. This is them in the Red Sox dugout. Just killing time.
Getting faster.
So that's what they're doing. I don't know if they're beating the Yankees as much, but they definitely got a good band going on.
I don't even know. I haven't checked the standings lately because I've been so hockey focused. By the way, let's go Caps tonight.
Yes, tonight.
At
Woo!
home. Anybody? Anybody?
Well, I work
get any
tonight.
last minute phone
I looked
calls?
into tickets. $400 a piece.
Oh.
Really? Oh, boy.
Do you know what kind of oil painting you could buy for $400?
Not a big one.
No.
That's fantastic.
I closed with Seth Meyers, and a big tip of the hat to Seth Meyers because of the setup that was required to tell this joke. This is a brave comic that goes this far on the setup.
You guys ever heard of the Pew Research Center? Okay. It's like a nonpartisan fact tank. It's really important for this next joke. Researchers are developing technology that could one day lead to humans being able to emit lasers from their eyes. It's just one of the many amazing projects coming out of the Pew Pew Research Center.
That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Tuesday, everybody.
Thank you, Seth. That's it, people. Thanks for joining us for the Mike O'Mara Show. Don't forget to listen 24/7 on the new Playapod app. We love it. You will love it as well. And, hey, by the way, each day on average, 96 Americans lose their lives because of a gun. Check out Every Time for Gun Safety and find out how you can end the tragedy of gun violence for good, ladies and gentlemen. There we go.
That is.
I'm looking forward to the royal wedding. Mike, are you really jealous of her? What is going on? Yeah. You know how many people have said for Oscar Santana.
The eyes are terrifying.
This is for the if you don't watch this show on video, you're gonna have to watch this one.
Get it on video.
Hey, Mike. This
It's
is Mike O'Mara
amazing.
inviting you to join us once again for the best part of your day, the Mike O'Mara Show.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Before you go, please make a mental note. Today's show was made possible by the TMOS bonus packages. You can secure yours right now by going to MikeO'MaraShow.com and clicking on the red bonus banner. Buy it or give it. Either way, you're helping out TMOS, and that's a good thing. Thank you, and go in peace.